Hello, I'm Sadie Gilbert with the latest from MerseyNewsLive. Knowsley Council has received more than £15 million from the government's Levelling Up scheme to transform Halewood. The money will be used to improve sporting facilities as well as transport. Knowsley Council leader Graham Morgan says people will get the improved services they deserve. It comes as many applications and projects from around Merseyside did not receive such funding. Everton fans are waiting on a verdict regarding their club's appeal against a 10-point deduction they were charged with in November. Our reporter Charlie Young was outside Goodison Park last night as the Toffees took on Crystal Palace.
There was a nervous feel around Goodison Park last night as fans are anxiously awaiting to see if they will gain any points back following their 10-point deduction. Keith Roberts from the Rainbow Toffees wasn't feeling very optimistic following their 1-1 draw with managerless Crystal Palace.
That result tonight, I said, regardless, it's worrying, isn't it? But Palace at home with no manager. Everton have got no right to beat anybody. No, I don't think anybody in the Premier League has got any right to beat anybody at all. You'd hope we'd have enough to get up, but the way I look at it really is, depending on how it ends up, we haven't been relegated this season. We've been kicked out the league. We
spoke to fans at the game who felt their club were harshly treated, but a confident manager Sean Dyche can keep them up.
Well, I knew we were being charged, and I thought it was a bit. There was questions being asked, but when I found out how many points we were getting deducted, it was wasn't happy. I was not happy because it's the most points ever deducted for a Premier League team.
We would be 12 now, wouldn't we? We didn't have the points. I think you look at we've got the right manager in charge at the moment for what we're at, where we're at, and what's going on. So I think we'll be. I'm confident, but you've got to win games football.
Yeah, I think we'll be safe if we don't get any points back anyway. But if we get another deduction, I think then we're struggling.
The Blues were charged due to recording losses in excess of £105 million over a 3-year period ending in 2022. Everton correspondent for the Liverpool Echo, Conor O'Neill, believes a points deduction is the only way for a club to be punished for breaching the rules.
Obviously, the Premier League are quite keen to make sure that clubs don't breach profit and sustainability rules because they don't want clubs to essentially get to the point where they know that they can breach them because all they're going to get is a fine. And obviously, when you've got clubs who are owned by multi-billionaires, a £2 million, £5 million fine for breaching profit and sustainability rules won't hurt the club that much. And obviously, when there could be the difference between a club staying up or going down, there's a lot on the line.
Everton currently sits 17th in the Premier League as their point at home placed them above Luton Town on goal difference. The Toffees will have to face another battle against a potential points deduction alongside relegation rivals Nottingham Forest for a separate breach of the rules. Charlie Young, MerseyNewsLive.
Labour MP for Liverpool Ian Byrne has tabled a motion for Alan Bates to receive the Freedom of the City honorary title. Mr Bates, who is from Liverpool, is in contention for this honour due to his role in the recent post office scandal. Former Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn has also backed the motion. Workers at the Museum of Liverpool have been striking today following a dispute over a cost of living payment. The museum staff claim they are among the lowest paid workers in the public sector across Merseyside. Our reporter Kate Farley has more on this.
Last year, thousands of the Public and Commercial Services Union members went on strike over pay conditions. The government agreed on a one-off £1,500 payment to part compensate for inflation. The unions claim that the National Museums of Liverpool are the only employee to renege on the deal. Now the industrial action is due to last 8 weeks, with different museums being targeted on different days.
As kind of bottom of the rung staff, like the visitor assistants, housekeepers, things like that, we don't get the sort of respect that we deserve. We don't get valued.
We do understand the priorities are difficult. We would argue that if you are not prioritising your staff, you're not doing the basics.
I do not trust them because they are not giving me the money that I am entitled to or deserve.
Meanwhile, families arriving to visit the museums were left with only picket lines to see.
Decided families over that we'd come down to the docks and see what was here, and unfortunately we've realised that they're protesting. So yeah, a little bit disappointed.
A statement from the National Museums of Liverpool director Laura Pye says that the one-off payment is simply unaffordable and instead they'll be giving pay rises to the lowest paid members of staff. And the board saying they are fully committed to end the strike action as quick as possible. Kate Farley, MerseyNewsLive.
Liverpool florists say they're having to double their prices in order to keep up with sales made by supermarkets. The owner of Dale Street Flowers told MerseyNewsLive buying flowers from an independent florist is now a luxury which many people cannot afford. Liverpool City Council are aiming to keep the roads of Liverpool safer and more sustainable. Councillor Dan Barrington, Cabinet Member for Environmental and Climate Change, said, "These new powers to enforce moving traffic contraventions are a key part of a wider programme to improve road safety across the city." Friends of Princes Park, who have for the past 2 decades maintained the area, say they want to keep it as beautiful as possible. The group have been restoring one of Liverpool's oldest parks to its former glory following vandalism in the 1980s. Our reporter, Top Watkins, paid a visit.
First opened in 1842, Princes Park is a smaller neighbour of Sefton Park, located south of the city. Designed by Sir Joseph Paxton, Princes Park was a place of great public use, but lost its way in the 70s and 80s, with vandalism and decay wreaking havoc on the area. However, Friends of Princes Park have restored it back to its former glory. The group was first set up in 2005 and has a spate of volunteers who work tirelessly to preserve and maintain this luscious area of Liverpool.
The main aim is to keep the park looking as beautiful as possible and to make it as inclusive as possible, but also to preserve and maintain wildlife and increase biodiversity.
With the threat of climate change becoming ever more pertinent in the 21st century, the group have tried to inspire the next generation to take care of these green areas through the work with the Mandela 8 organisation and local schools.
I think young people today have got many young people today have got a great awareness of climate change and the loss of habitat and biodiversity, etc. So I am hopeful in that respect.
The work that organisations like Friends of Princes Park do is vital and showcases the importance of looking after our natural surroundings. Tom Watkins, MerseyNewsLive.
Sony Entertainment have announced a series of Beatles movies set to be released in 2027. Directed by Sam Mendes, the movies will be in 4 separate parts and cover events from each band member's perspective. And now over to James Hurst with the sport.
The Grand National weights were revealed at the annual traditional lunch held at St George's Hall earlier today. The horse Hewick has been handed top weight of 11 stone 12 pounds. Meanwhile, last year's winner, Korak Rambler, weighed in at 11 stone 2 pounds. The race will return to Aintree on Saturday, the April 13th. Former Liverpool manager Roy Hodgson has stepped down from his position as Crystal Palace manager after falling ill last week in training. Hodgson managed the Merseyside club from 2010 to 2011 before being replaced by Kenny Dalglish. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp has said that his squad is affected by injuries ahead of tomorrow's game versus Luton. This comes just days before the League Cup final against Chelsea this Sunday.
Not available, obviously, Ali. That's a muscle injury where we don't know exactly how long it takes. Then we have Diogo with a knee issue, Curtis with a bone ligament issue ruled out.
Ormscote cricketer Tom Hartley was unable to recreate another miracle performance in the 3rd Test match against India. England were beaten by India in a massive defeat in their 3rd Test match. The 3 Lions lost 8 wickets in their first innings, and then they were bowled out for 122 runs in their second. And back to Everton, where for once love is in the air. Everton defender James Tarkowski is set to appear in the new reality show Married to the Game, centred around Premier League players' wives. Viewers will be seeing Tarkowski see if he has better chemistry with centre-back partner Jared Branthwaite or his wife, alongside other players Matt Turner and former Manchester City star Riyad Mahrez. Back to you, Sadie, with the weather.
Now for the weather. The rain is set to continue in tomorrow with highs of 13 Celsius. That's all from us at Mersey News Live for today. We'll have more for you next week. For more on these stories, go to www.merseynewslive.co.uk.